Greetings, MBAP 518 online MBA International Business students. This is Dr. Jaros with a video explanation for how I graded exam 1. So let's take a look at the exam. Question 1. When a company decides to enter a foreign market, is it usually at an advantage or disadvantage compared to local competitors? Explain. What conditions should be present in order to make such a decision viable? Explain. Well, first of all, we're typically at a disadvantage. When we're thinking about entering a foreign market for the first time, we're at a disadvantage because local competitors who have been there for a while, they have greater knowledge of the market within that foreign country. They have a greater knowledge of the culture within that foreign country and a greater knowledge of government rules and regulations, all of which helps them compete more effectively. We're new, so we don't really know much about any of those things. Okay, so what has to be present to cause us to make this kind of decision anyway? The decision to enter the foreign market. First, the country must have some distinctive attractiveness to motivate us to come. Meaning there has to be something about the country that stands out in terms of its attractiveness. Maybe we think the market is a fertile market where a lot of people will want to buy our product. Maybe the people in that country have a high level of skill. They might be highly trained or skilled in certain areas that might be beneficial to our business. But there has to be something about the country that, draws us in like a magnet. Second, we have to have distinctive competencies that lead us to believe that we can beat the local competitors anyway. Okay? Remember, we're at a disadvantage. So when you're at a disadvantage, you need to have some reason to believe that you can win anyway. Maybe we believe we have more resources that we can mobilize to compete. Maybe we believe we have a better product or service than any products or services that the local competitors are offering. Okay, maybe we believe we have a distinctive skill or advanced technology that allows us to beat the local competition. But we have to believe that we have weapons of that kind that will make us competitive. And last but not least, the nature of the situation has to be such that we believe we are better able to exploit business opportunities in that foreign market by leveraging our own internal operations rather than by using an export strategy or, say, a joint venture strategy with a company that's already located there. All right, then, let's move on to question number 2. If a global company is facing a market in which pressures for local responsiveness and integration are low, but pressures for innovation are high, what kind of industry is it operating in? What kind of strategy should it pursue? Explain and describe. Well, in a situation where pressures for local responsiveness and integration are low, but pressures for innovation are high, that is known as an international industry. An industry in which the ability to innovate, to come up with new ideas for products and services, and appropriate the benefits of them in multiple countries determines whether the company will be successful or not. The strategy it should employ is what is known as the international strategy, a strategy that involves developing new products and services and technologies in our home market and testing them in the home market first, and then successfully transferring and diffusing them to foreign affiliates for sales and use in those foreign countries. So a hub and spoke strategy where things are developed in the center and then sent out to the periphery. All right, question number 3. If a company is thinking about expanding to a foreign country and does not take into account the different ways the countries can be distant from each other, what mistakes might it make? Give an example from the article we read on this. Well, in the article, it said the article talks about 4 different kinds of ways that countries can be distant from each other, right? There's geographic distance, there's cultural distance, there's administrative distance and or political distance, and there's economic distance. And all of those forms of distance matter. If we ignore them, we couldn't end up investing in the wrong country, a country that is not a fertile ground for economic growth. And this is best demonstrated by the country portfolio analysis, which is presented towards the end of the chapter or towards the end of the reading. Looking at the fast food industry, if we don't adjust for distance, the CPA says that a US-based fast food country is best off investing in Japan. Okay? But if we adjust the criteria for distance, then the best choice becomes Canada, which is a lot closer to us. So we always have to adjust for distance when doing CPA type analysis. Question number 4. What kind of strategy and structure has United Cereal historically employed in Europe? Has this helped or hurt its competitiveness there? Explain. Well, historically, United Cereal has employed both a multinational or multi-domestic strategy and structure. With a multinational or multi-domestic structure, headquarters is in one country, but foreign affiliates are located in other countries, and the culture of that type of company is that the foreign affiliates have a lot of power to determine how they run themselves. Headquarters is weak in that regard. Headquarters does not dictate to the affiliates how they implement business strategy. In other words, each foreign affiliate is basically run like a separate business. Okay? They have a lot of autonomy to develop products unique to their markets. Okay? How has this worked out for United Cereal? It's had mixed results. The multinational approach has allowed United Cereal to be very responsive to customers in different European countries. Important because European countries often have different tastes in terms of what the people in the country, like to have for breakfast. Okay? But it has hurt United Cereal as well because this high degree of subsidiary autonomy has led to a higher cost structure due to the proliferation of different products and marketing programs being implemented in various countries, and it has hindered the development of a pan-European brand because local subsidiaries resist ideas from headquarters, such as the juices that were described in the case, and also the healthy berry cereal that the company wants to roll out. So pros and cons there. Anyway, I hope this video explanation was helpful to you in understanding how I graded your first exam.